Most people think building wealth is a steady, upward climb, but the reality is far more shocking. A staggering 87% of your total investment growth occurs in the final stretch of your journey. This means that for the first decade or more, your account might move slower than a frozen computer screen. During these early years, you aren't seeing massive riches, you are simply paying your dues to the gods of compound interest. Sadly, this is why most people quit. They mistake the necessary slow beginning for a sign of failure, not realizing that nearly 90% of their future fortune is waiting just over the horizon. This initial phase is what Nick calls the boredom stage, and it's where 90% of investing dreams meet their end. Imagine investing your hard-earned $100 only to check your account a month later and see it's grown by a measly $3. It feels pointless. You watch the market wiggle up and down like a ping pong ball, and the emotional experience is like watching paint dry while someone occasionally flicks the wall. Most people hit this wall of boredom and convince themselves the system is a scam. They stop their automatic deposits, promising to restart later, not realizing that the math is working perfectly, it's just working in silence. As you push through the boredom, you enter the identity stage. This is where the real magic happens, but it's not in the numbers, it's in your brain. Take the example of Marcus. When his car broke down and he faced a $650 repair bill, the old Marcus would have raided his investment account and killed his progress. But the new Marcus viewed those dollars as seeds for his future self. He chose to find a side hustle and sell old electronics to cover the bill instead. He stopped identifying as someone who spends every cent he earns and started identifying as a builder of wealth. In this stage, investing becomes a non-negotiable bill you pay to your future self, just like rent or electricity. Success doesn't require a superhuman salary, it requires the strategy of nudging. Marcus didn't suddenly find thousands of dollars to invest. Instead, he started with a small, manageable amount and committed to tiny, incremental increases. Every time he received a small raise or a tax refund, he nudged his monthly contribution up by just $10 or $15. This is the financial equivalent of adding one more rep to your workout. On paper, it looks insignificant, but over time, these small adjustments do more for your net worth than trying to find the next moonshot stock. It's about building the mental muscle of consistency. Around year 8 or 10, you finally cross an invisible threshold called the handoff stage. This is the moment when the math stops being theoretical and starts being visceral. For the first time, the annual growth of your portfolio exceeds the amount of money you actually contribute from your paycheck. In a good market year, your account might grow by $5,000 while you only put in $3,000. This is the turning point where you stop being a person who works for money and start being a person whose money works for them. Your job shifts from aggressively pushing the snowball to simply protecting it from melting. The final lesson is a warning. The average person starts and stops their investment journey about 4 times. They get bored, cash out to buy a new gadget, and then restart years later when they feel guilty. But every time you hit the reset button, you destroy the most valuable asset you have: time. It's like digging up a garden because the vegetables aren't growing fast enough, only to plant new seeds and wonder why you never have a harvest. Marcus succeeded not because he was a genius, but because he refused to quit during the boring years. Remember, the income snowball is coming, but it only rewards those who are still standing there when it finally arrives.